So hello, I'm back. So this video, the second video, uh, deals with the basic fundamental uh, notions of syntax or basic ideas that we are going to discuss in this chapter. As we have already discussed that we are going to discuss about generative grammar. So what is generative grammar? It's a scientific, it's an approach, a scientific approach um, that is based upon describing rules, and it discusses the certain amount of grammar that is built in, and how this the other part of the uh, grammar that human beings acquire. Yes, so as we have already discussed the syntax in the previous video we discussed the syntax. So syntax is a scientific study of sentence structure, how sentence structure is organized into phrases, clauses, and sentences. So how a language organizes its sentence syntax or syntactic structures or syntactic rule, and how it organizes it in a sentence, and how this we will also be discussing the relationship of phrases, clauses, and in a sentence. So this is generally we will be talking about, and particularly in the generative grammar we will be we try to see how the phrases are organized into sentences and clauses. Um, then, um, um, then we'll be talking about different um, different important notions such as language with lowercase. So when you talk about when this language with lowercase is generally the language, any language that is that somebody speaks. Like you speak, you can that can be English, that can be French. So this data that and it's these this kind of language is the data source that is generally evaluated or investigated um, uh, in the study of syntax, and it is also called uh, um, this is called language, and it's also we can also call it e-language. So when it comes to generative grammar, this is generative grammar is a theory of linguistics which deals grammar, or it views grammar as a cognitive faculty of human beings, and this is language with a capital uppercase L. Language this generates, or it is generated by different set of rules and procedures. So the variation of generative grammar, we are looking, there is a primary principle and of the parameter or that generally deals with the minimalism. So in this particular um, um, area of study, the as we have already discussed, this deals with the scientific method. What is the scientific method? It deals with observation of the data, and from that data, and then from this you make generalizations about the data, and then you draw certain hypotheses, and then you try to um, test those hypotheses on a larger set of data. So generative grammar will be dealing about or this kind of approach. Then learning versus, as we have already discussed, that this chapter will be dealing with the learning and acquisition. So when it comes to learning, um, this is uh, this deals with your conscious knowledge, conscious that can be when you are consciously trying to learn, or when you are in a specific formal setting, and you're trying to learn something. You're trying to, I would not use acquire here. You are trying to pick up things consciously. That can be you're learning chemistry, you're learning linguistic for that matter. So when it comes to acquisition, this is actually picking up the information subconsciously. So this is what is acquisition, when you are subconsciously gathering data from your environment, and you're learning acquiring the data, and you're trying to process that data. So this language ability is innate in nature. This is hardwired, and it is built in, and it is instinctive. So human ability to use or produce language is innate. It is hardwired and built in and instinctive. So this again, um, uh, this particular ability, or it is related to the recursion or recursive processes. So this is generally, human beings have this ability to produce structures in number, numerous new set of structures, and then they will go on adding to the structure, and this structure will go on increasing. So this is recursion. So when you can this is related to this innate ability of human beings, and this language, the language ability, with which is hardwired, and which is built in, and which is instinctive. So when it comes to universal grammar, or UG, um, this is, of course, innate part of language grammar. So this is what we are going to talk about, and we are going to discuss. This is a, a structure of our tomorrow's class. In the first part, we are going to practice um, uh, the tree diagrams. I have been posting different examples of tree diagrams. I will bring some exercises for you, and you will be asked to try your hands on these sentences. You will try to analyze the structures, or the surface structures, and the of these um, of these sentences, and you will be analyzing these sentences. Uh, we'll have fun in the class. Thank you very much. See you in the class. Khuda Hafiz.